Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the finale of the 4th season of You. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. So the last few episodes have been very good. I really enjoyed them. We had a guest appearance from Beck, we had a guest appearance from Love last episode, and now obviously we're here in the final one, wondering who's going to live and who's going to die. Now the interesting thing is with these flashback slash guest appearances is that obviously Joe was trying to figure out what it is that he needs to do. He come to the conclusion that basically what he needs to do is free Marianne and then kill himself. That was like the epiphany that he was having. You know what I mean? He didn't think that there was any other way. Obviously Reese is there at the side of him, slash obviously his alter ego telling him it's different. You know, just go down there and kill Marianne and then you can obviously live a happy life with Kate. Now obviously Joe don't think that that's the best way to go forward. And the interesting thing is with Marianne, it seems like she may have overdosed as he's ran down there because, you know, earlier on in the episode he got a phone, he was texting to the babysitter to see how obviously the daughter was so that Marianne could you know, have a bit of knowledge that her kid was doing well. And it turns out that obviously they think that she's relapsed and she's told her that her kid's getting taken off her and that he's going back with her grandma, and obviously this has sent Marianne spiraling. And the interesting thing is, you know, Joe is there in the cage with a gun that he did actually bring down with him. Now again, Nadia is still here. She still knows that Marianne's in the cage and her mission was to go and get some ketamine from a boyfriend so that they can come and inject it with Joe when he wasn't looking, knock him out obviously, and then Marianne could actually take him out with a knife that she was going to pass to her. Now she doesn't know all this craziness stuff has happened, so she's thinking that Marianne's still safe in the cage on her own, and Joe's down there and she comes running down those stairs to try and help her, and Joe's there with that weapon. It's going to be some bad news for her, isn't it? It's really interesting. Kate as well, you know, the side story with her dad. He said like, come with me to New York, you know, I'm going to open a museum and you know, you can have your successful business there. She's saying no, she wants to build a life for herself no matter what's happened. You know what I mean? She's always tried to distance herself from her dad, and he's turned around and said, look mate, everything that you've got in life, you know, it's all because of me. You think you got your apartment because you won the bidding war? No, it's because I made sure you won it. You think Malcolm got rid of all these charges against him, sexual harassment? That's because obviously I took part and I was the one that got that squashed. You think that you got your job? Well, I was the person that done it, you know, offered the internship. I was the one that made the phone calls. Everything that you've got, I've had my hand in, and I'm here to make you successful. No matter what you say, you're going to be part of our business. I've got everything that I want in this world. I own everything, and I also own you. That's what he said, mate. Very interesting. So talk about their story's going to finish in this episode as well, and how obviously we're going to move if we do go into season 5 or if we end it here. I'm going to be excited to see obviously what they decide to do in this final episode. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into the final episode of season 4 of You.
With respect, probably best to dump her in that lumber yard.
Oh, she did overdose, didn't she? So he can leave her there.
Dying this way is a fitting end.
I think it's a case of wrong place, wrong time.
No, I think it's grace.
Say more.
To die thinking of what you most love.
Reese Montrose was found dead in the woods.
We found him.
Well, you've lost them all now. We might as well.
Class dismissed.
Was I just a fling slash occasional dealer?
No. You are the only person that I trust. Also, I don't want to lose you, and I'm really sorry that I pushed you away. Now, I'm actually scared that you might not believe me, but here goes. Read this, and then I'm going to show you something.
She took some pictures of Marianne. That would have been deep.
No. There was a cage. There was a glass cage. What the fuck?
What?
Cage, and there was a woman inside it.
You mean like locked in the cage?
I am not lying.
I believe you. Why no police?
Well, because they'll poke. They'll ask questions, and then he'll just get onto them, and then he'll run.
That's just a crap excuse, that though, isn't it? It is a crap excuse.
We need him dead to rights, or not at all.
We.
Who else?
She's just in too deep. Unnecessarily as well. She don't need even to be this far in.
Love was right. If I stick around, I'll only do worse.
You are not suicidal. Sent you to kill because he knew you could. Really, the only thing that doesn't line up is his sanguine attitude towards a wife stabber who's dating his daughter.
I said that as well.
Unless he got you to flay his nemesis, and set yourself up.
Kate?
I had to drink a lot to do this. Did you see?
Reese, I did, yeah.
So my father had a hand in it, but his bodies aren't typically found unless he wants it that way. Phoebe figured it out. She's leaving London when she's better. How much do you know about stalkers, Jonathan?
More than most.
One day I overheard my father hiring someone to follow me. I broke into his office and there was this file, phone records, who I'd given a blowjob to. Yesterday, he informed me he's behind everything I've accomplished from the day I cut him out. My entire existence is illusory. Are you even real? Or did he send you too? He owns me.
Said that, mate. It's upsetting, that, innit? Like, knowing that all your achievements are not yours, or the doubt over it because somebody's involved. Mate, maybe go and take him out, Joe.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, I am. Just take him out, Joe. Do you know what I mean? I always say, what's one more body to the numbers? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you kill 10, you might as well kill 11. It's the same. You know what I mean? You still get the same punishment. You know? But again, though, with this Kate thing, I wouldn't say would you get her involved, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll let Joe commits a final act in hopes he'll never have to walk down the same path again. Mate, I thought that he was doing so good this season as well, not walking down that same path. I thought it was somebody else terrorising him, but it was him all along. No matter how much he tries to lead himself astray from his old ways, he always falls back into them, doesn't it? The death of Jonathan Moore as well. You know what I mean? We had the death of Joel Goldberg last season.
You'll hate this because you're no fun, but
I really do believe Tom Lockwood needs to die.
I agree.
Oh, Joe, you're thrilled.
You've been trying to get me to see the truth.
Spot on.
I decide if the line gets crossed, when and why.
I never took you as a top.
Joe, do you think I want to stand here yabbering on like some separate bloody person? Let's stop bickering and come together.
That workshop that Kate mentioned is probably an airplane hangar, right?
Oh, our code is 250903. Rothko's birthday.
Okay, I'm assuming you'll be with a bodyguard.
Well, we can do stealth.
Everything on Montrose, everything on Eat the Rich. Hopefully, all we need to build a case against Professor Goldberg.
Pick up some champagne. I'll be about an hour. Very good, sir.
Would you just shoot him?
Go, hurry.
Classic Joe with that cloth in it.
Good job on a cuff. Coroner won't see a mark.
Catherine's upset with me about our conversation. I would hearken a guess. She told you what I said. Do I seem like the type who would want to hurt his own daughter?
But you do hurt her, Tom.
I'm done with her. I was putting more into it than I was ever getting out of it anyway. No, behind you!
Oh, he's took his ankle. Oh, he's just gone straight.
I did like suicide for Tom, but rather difficult now, isn't it?
Business. Eggs get broken. Everybody just walks away, Joe. Okay, I hurt Catherine. You love her, I understand that. You're angry. What the fuck am I doing? Is it begging you want? Bullshit. I didn't make the world, Joe. You gonna kill me now? Why? Because I'm a survivor?
Don't you let him get in your head.
You don't even see it, do you? You do this for her. You become the problem.
This was a good kill.
Yo, mate, let me just pause it here. These are some fucking good kills, mate. Yeah, it's like you just said, Reese. I thought that guy's just a good death. He come in, ran over, ankle snip. Do you know what I mean? Stab to the neck. Bro, that was a ruthless, and that was a good kill. I do think it was a good kill. Yeah, I've missed these. You know what I mean? Like, I have missed it. I do like how we do you know what? It's been a pretty good season, to be fair. You know what I mean? Like, it has been, I think it's been one of those, like, you turn the hob on and you start at like a 2 heat and you turn it up a little bit, and the water starts bubbling. You know what I mean? You're on 3, go to 4, you know what I mean? And now we're all up on 9 and the water's going crazy and the smoke's coming up and you've only got one little bit more heat to go before you hit the 10 mark. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's this season. Each episode you're just cranking that knob up better and better and better like that until you get to the fire, which is like this episode.
Even the most curated online presence gives certain truths. Tom is into great men. Wars, vintage planes.
God love a man who thinks he's smarter than everybody else. That page.
As police will discover, Tom's bodyguard, Hugo McNamara, was in a financial crisis. No one questioned why he'd robbed Lockwood, forcing a transfer of £2 million to a new account. It's incredible how fast you can doctor a murder scene when you team up with your dark side. Last corpse I'll ever have to bury.
Broken record, that.
Task left.
Why am I here?
Because my crazy dead wife told me the truth.
For fuck's sake, enough! It won't. What do you think everyone else sees in the mirror?
I think I've killed a lot more people.
You are a stellar example of the human condition. What you need to fight, the shame.
I should be ashamed.
No! That's why I'm fucking standing here trying to untwist you before you kill us both.
Every time I try, it's never enough. I want this time to be different, but now I know it's not going to be different with Kate either.
Stop. I just helped you. I can help you with this.
Very sweet of you to offer. We did what we did for Kate. I'm done.
No, we can figure this out, you and me.
Do you reckon he's going to push him off?
We'll break it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I knew that he was going off. Well, Joe's gone as well. Hasn't tied himself down or anything, so like, you know, naturally he'll start pulling himself up when his breath starts going.
I should have tried harder, but now it's too late, and it means no more walks.
His hair looks so thick.
You a rose, but kissing you so softly, it's like we're whispering.
Interesting. I've no idea actually what's happened there. Like, is he swam back up or what? Looks like he should be dead, but she's still doing her investigation.
Let me know when you're awake enough for me to ask you something.
Well, I'm quite the morning person, so go.
Does he know you're onto him?
I hope not. This is really, really dangerous for you. And you're only doing it because you care about me. You must never tell anyone this. Why I need to nail him down before he slips away.
As long as he's alive, he will come after me.
So I'd asked you for the ketamine. I'd got a knife. I had this even crazier plan. Plan B. And we figured so much could go wrong, we should prepare both of them. If we didn't manage to kill Joe, we were gonna have to kill Marianne.
Right, decent.
He didn't know it, but he was actually texting me. Take enough and it will slow your heart rate down enough that you seem like you're dead. Then you know, I fucked up. So Marianne had to enact plan B. When you bailed me out, I was terrified I wouldn't get there in time to follow him. Oh my god. Oh, thank fucking god.
He's pretty good though.
You are an actual superhero.
The way she described him, it's like he doesn't let things go. Can't, because he's an obsessive. Oh my god, we need to go back to the flat.
Because he would have kept something.
What we're saying there, actually, you know, I've got to say that's decent. I actually do think that was decent. I still want Nadia to die, and this guy, obviously, because he's involved. I want Joel to be the successor. Do you know what I mean? To be honest, you know, how do you want the show to completely end? I kind of want Joel to get what he truly desires the most, and that would be to be with his son and to be with somebody that truly loves him hardcore. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's all he's ever kind of wanted, but it's never actually ever gone the best way possible. But still, though, I'm still hopeful. I would rather choose that than him just getting arrested and put away in prison. Do you know what I mean? Or like somebody attacks him and kills him, unless he sacrifices himself for a good cause. You know what I'm saying? But like, this was a good twist, because I actually did think Marianne died, and now throwing this in, it's like decent, mate. And she fought fast on her feet, and I mean, I'm not saying that I like Nadia, but I am saying that she's done very good there with the limited time that she's got. Very clever, really, really was.
I'm alive.
Happy birthday. Died for a bit in the water. I'll tell your friend that you're awake.
You absolute twat. If you had died, I would never have forgiven you.
I've done terrible things, Kate. Just got you back. Now I tell you the thing that'll make you leave. I've killed people.
He's dead, you know, my father. Murdered for money. His lieutenant, Cynthia, told me about some DNA they found on Reese's body. She felt I might know the perpetrator. Sadly, the tests are inconclusive, so we'll never know who killed Reese. You have made it possible to even conceive of that type of future because you've gone and made me believe in myself. Quite insistent that I'm not a bad person and everything. We are capable of terrible things, but I also know that I'd rather die, so...
Yeah, we're in this together.
I will say yes to everything, but I need you to help me through the hard times without losing myself.
I thought of you the entire time.
You Americans are so emotional. I love you too.
My name is Joe Goldberg.
She could just Google that, couldn't she? You know, I need to say, look, mate, you know, smoked all these people off. Nah, he can't even say that, man. He just needs to have the death on the record as Reese that she knows about. And if she accepts that, fairs. Not Beck, not Love, you know, not all the ones in the middle, not a dad, not the guard, you know, not Phoebe's, you know what I'm saying? Like, just Reese's. But now, if Nadia finds out, well, once he finds out that Nadia knows and a boyfriend knows and that Marianne's still alive, what's happening there, mate? Yeah, is he going to go to Kate and say, look, mate, I know you got money, I know we wanted to start fresh, we need to kill all these. I don't know, but it's actually pretty decent.
I am really not sure this is such a good idea.
Just keep your eyes on the street and then just say the word if you see him.
Remember that poet he was quoting, Robert Lowell, and that Ouija board stuff, connecting it to controlling death and life?
Zero Ouija shit. Oh my god.
Box.
Of Rita Montrose's things. The articles, his mail.
Hey, take pictures. Leave it there and get out. I'll meet you at the car.
What is he?
How's Joel found him?
Fucking hell.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Did I see you coming from my flat?
I was looking for Eddie.
Sorry, what's the code for your phone? Let's delete these. My circumstances have changed.
I think I just got away.
You work, what, 2, 3 jobs, sleeps for the rich. I can make this work. For all of us.
Me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was her... If I was her and somebody come over and offer me a big fucking hefty bit of cash to be quiet, I would do, mate. You know, like, the people are dead. I can't change that. I can send him down. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's selfish, isn't it? It's doing the right thing, but again, it's one of those. It's like, if I wanted to take him down, I'd probably get killed myself. Do you know what I mean? So it's either take the money and hush, or try and go all in and probably get killed. You know what I mean? You got to look at it in those context. Like, he's probably got a boyfriend. You know, where is he as well? Do you know what I mean? And also, I'd like to know how he's found out that she knows, unless he just seen her come out the flat and it was just like a suspicion thing, like, why is she there? You know what I mean? And check in. And because he acted dead calm then as well, not shocked. And, you know, all season, well, not all season, but she's recently started to be a bit sketchy and absent in his classes, and maybe he's been like seeing it and thinking it, and obviously like when she's come out, it's no real surprise, if that makes sense.
As someone wise once said, if you don't grow, you rot.
It's me.
Poor Connie. Lasted 9 whole days in rehab. Still
9 days.
Though. He quietly tied up business in London and left to teach English to elementary school students in Thailand.
Grateful for a second chance at a good life.
It's me.
I'm the problem, it's me. Oh, shaved his beard.
Is Kate plus a cybersecurity team, a squadron of publicists, and Cynthia, scrub search results, hack news archive, all to support this simple, true story of Joe Goldberg.
Even as you're grieving your dad, you stepped into his shoes, kept the company running smoothly?
Well, I've had help.
Is that how you see your road, Joe? Supportive boyfriend?
Only because I haven't been able to convince her to elope yet. I can make this work. For all of us, I'm not proud. But the important part is that I've been given a chance to redeem myself and make up for what I've done.
Oh.
Oh, give me your hand. Nadia, tell them all about me. No one's gonna believe you. And there's gonna be a box found in your bedroom by the police. Reese Montrose stinks, anonymous tipster. You have so many gifts. I'm looking forward to watching what you do next.
How long she sent down for then? Hey, I liked having him there around me.
Largely focused on changing the world.
So many ways to do that. Sure, killing's one of many, but it's certainly not a one-size-fits-all solution. She's here to change the world. I'm just here to help.
All right, that's interesting. You know, I think that it has been a pretty good season, if I'm being honest. Like, again, I thought it was one of those things, I said it earlier on, like, I feel like we started with the flames burning very slowly, and as we've cranked through the season, that hob has been turning and turning until we got bubbling up until this episode. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's progressively got good. I personally think Joe looks better with a beard, to be honest, and you know, I wish that he kept it, but he looks good either way, to be honest. His hair's thick as well, proper thick. You see it in that water then when he was in there? Mad. But it's interesting that she's accepted him for, you know, well, like who he is. She doesn't really know his past. She knows that he killed Reese. The thing is, would you be with somebody who told you that they killed someone? Because that, again, is an interesting one, because I probably wouldn't, and the reason why is I would just never get it out of my head that there's a possibility that they couldn't kill me. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they could kill somebody else and get away with it, you know, I would always be thinking, yo, why am I any different? You know what I mean? If they'd done it before, why would they not do it to me? Do you know what I mean? So that's just me, but it's interesting to see how they go here. You know, she's obviously doing well in the business. She's taking over it. She wants to help people. Do you know, speaking about helping people first before I forget, Phoebe, you know, she's rich and she's doing perfectly what I would love to do if I was rich. Like, she doesn't have to work, but she's chosen to do something. So like, I always say I want to be rich because not so I could buy all these cars and flashy things and all these clubs the way Adam wanted to do it. Do you know what I mean? And abuse it. I want to be rich so that I could spend the time in my life freely, do whatever I want and enjoy myself, whatever that may be. I always say that I'd love to open a big massive field and adopt all the animals and that everything that was obviously like in a dog's home, or do you know what I mean, I would let them all free. It'd just be a big open space where all the animals, because stuff like that pleases me. I love animals and stuff, and like, I would like to do everything that I could do that made me happy. And if she's happy teaching kids and being around them, doesn't matter how much money you've got, do something that, you know, warms your heart, and that's good. I'm happy for her. She was one, as well as Kate, well, two of the only people this season that didn't peck my head. Yeah, I really like Phoebe all the way through it. Kate was a burner. She, like I said, turned the hob as it got through the season, started enjoying her. And Reese as well, really good. I like the alter ego. I like seeing him. I wish we could bring you back, me, into the next season. I'm not gonna lie. If we could and we had that possibility, I would bring you back. I liked it, how he was talking to him. It makes it better. It's kind of like a narration. Do you know when Joel's like narrating the scenarios that he's in? Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Well, actually, you know, having somebody there bouncing the conversation off, knowing that only us can see that, and it's Joel's kind of inside thoughts and monologues going on, I really thought it was good. That was a good addition to it. Now, setting her up at the end, and she's inside now, and she's not really spoken, it leaves a possibility to maybe speak out on it later on. And, you know, somebody will grab it, no matter what, yeah? You can express this and say, I'm innocent, and it's Joe, and it's this, and I know this, and blah, blah, blah. You can have 100 people disregard it and say, she's crazy. But you only have to get that one person to think, okay, I'll poke my nose in, I'll do some research, and then it can start uncovering little things. Now, she got into that position because she was too nosy. I'll still be here now. I'll die on the sword. She was nosy. She didn't have to be as far deep as she was. She didn't have to do the investigating, didn't have to break into his house, didn't have to take the keys, didn't have to go and find Marianne, didn't have to, you know what I mean, like, agree to kill him, didn't have to go back in his house, take pictures. That was all her choice. She didn't have to do any of that. That was all because she was nosy. And I'm not saying that she got what she deserved, because that's ruthless. But that guy got killed. She stayed alive but got put away. Her dad got killed. Kate's bodyguard got killed. So, you know what? I wanted Marianne to die as well, to be honest. I think I had 4 people at the start of the episode that I wanted to die. I wanted Nadia to die, Marianne to die, Nadia's boyfriend, and I think I might have said Tom, but I'm not too sure on that one. But them 3 anyway, and we nearly got that. But we had it in a different way, and I thought it was good how the season ended, to be honest. I actually do think it was good. But Marianne's free. She actually is free. And she's there now. She's seen the story, didn't she, that was published? And it seemed like she wasn't actually happy. You get to have a second chance on life. I wonder if she comes back next season and does something. I wonder how many seasons we go left. I personally thought this season was the last. I'm sure I read all over the place that this was the final one. I think maybe I might have even referenced it a couple of times, like in the intros and outros, like, oh, the final season. But no, looks like we could be getting one more. So thumbs up from me anyway. I'm excited. I thought this was a good one. Wasn't too sure starting, but it's ended really strong. And that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the season. Thought it was a good one, if I'm being totally honest. Really, really good. Couple of aspects that annoyed me here and there, but overall, I think it's been great. Now, moving on to the final I was going to call it the final season, but who knows? You know, moving on into the next season, how do you reckon that it should go, to be honest? Because the way that Marianne was talking, I kind of felt like she might make a reappearance. And I mean, I'm not a hater of Marianne, but like, yeah, don't bring Marianne back. Like, I'm not a biggest fan. Like, I don't think that I've never connected with her, in my personal opinion. I always wanted her dead ever since like she's kind of like been introduced as Joe's love interest over Love, somebody who was sick. And like, Love was a fantastic, she dominated. Her aura on the screen was so big and strong, and Marianne's just not. And like, if we're thinking about going into the next season again with her kind of, I don't know, coming at Joe or trying to ruin his life, like, I don't know, man. Like, Joe's kind of fell in a big position here with someone who's super rich, like one of the world's richest people now, and he's got all his publicists, like, you know what I mean, behind him. He's got all these teams, security guards, everything. Like, trying to send him down is going to be literally solid now. But again, I would choose, do you know what, if I could write a final season for the show, I would either go two ways. I would bring Ellie back, because she is one of two people that Joe has let survive. Yeah, he let Ellie survive. He also let the guy in the cage survive, who's now in like Thailand with his wife. Can't see them bringing him back, if I'm being totally honest. But Ellie, you know, maybe she comes back, and Joe's kind of like helping her. You know, we did see that he was sending money to him on the seasons, and it gets to a point where he has to maybe sacrifice his own self to save her. I feel like that would be quite good, because I feel like if Joel dies, it's got to be a good death, and it's got to have some meaning. You know, like jumping off that bridge there, it doesn't have any meaning. You know, getting killed like in a scuffle with somebody again, I don't feel like it has a great meaning. I feel like the only way that you could have killed Joe with an impact that you could have understood and got behind and wouldn't really have thought that was shit was Love killing him. And why? Because that was 2 seasons, about 20 episodes of a character build with a good background, which you could understand. And if Joel died, like as I say, mate, there was a choice that they had to make: kill Joel or kill Love. Now, I would have killed Joel, me, if I'm being honest, because I was a big fan of Love, and I just thought like going into a season where you switched the main character would have been madness, honestly. And like, I wouldn't have minded it. I'm not saying that like Joel's bad, like I really do like him. Like now I'm all for Joe again. Do you know what I'm saying? But like when I had that choice, they done so good at building up a character that if they killed Joe off, I would have accepted it with no questions. And like now, if we go into a final season and Joel does die, it's got to be a good death and something that I can kind of understand. And like if it was something to do with protecting Ellie, somebody that he actually cares for, or maybe Kate later on down the line, if Marianne maybe has to come after her and tries to get revenge, I don't know, then that would be interesting. Or another aspect was to kind of leave a show open to maybe a sequel or something like that. Would like maybe jump into the future. Like you could jump maybe 10 years into the future. You could be like Joel's successful, like running the business kind of with obviously Kate and stuff like this, or maybe 15 years or something. And he wants to start rekindling a relationship with his son. Do you know what I mean? And he maybe like follows him for a couple of episodes, and we see his son kind of living his life as well from his perspective. And then maybe you could finish off a season with his son doing a killing or Joe witnessing it, and it's you know, you end kind of like on a cliffhanger, like what's going to happen. And like you could maybe move on with a sequel with like his son and like a crazy guy like that as well. I don't know, just spitting it out. But like I don't know how you would end a show like this, if I'm being honest, unless it's a happily ever after, or if it's like a set up a sequel with other characters, or if it's a protection of somebody that he loves going, do you know what I mean, like as his way out. But I thought this season was good. Last 5, I think part 2 or whatever you want to call it had been the best part of the season. I thought some ruthless deaths in this finale, if I'm being honest. I thought like killing that security guard, coming in, slitting his ankles, and then obviously stabbing him up a few times in the neck was brutal. And then obviously killing the dad the way he done, throw a bag over his head and just taped it around. I thought that was good as well. I thought like he might not have killed his dad, or you know, I thought like if he was going to do it, you just killed him. Do you know what I mean? Like when he put the cloth around his mouth, you'd think that would be the perfect time, but no, tying him up, questioning him and then doing it, that's the ruthless. I like how they brought Reese, kind of like his alter ego, into the present. We could see him and he was talking to each other and bouncing off on that. Thought that was really good as well. And like I said, mate, I like how Phoebe's ended up being happy as well, because obviously people was trying to manipulate her, use her money, and obviously get in a position of power. And now she's just living a free life and being, you know, like being one with herself. So that was good stuff as well. Marianne, I thought it was a good twist. If I'm being totally honest, you know, you got to hold your hands up and say when something's good. That was great. I definitely thought she overdosed. She had me fooled, she had Joe fooled. He left her on a park bench. I was like, you know what, it's pretty clever actually. You know, you don't have to call it into the police, don't have to do anything. You can leave her on a bench, you know what I mean? Somebody could find her, they could go over, they could do an autopsy, they could figure out that she died from overdose, and there'd be no questions really asked when they look back into her, you know, past and look at all of her history. It would, you know, it would fit, and nobody would actually question how she got in that position, because she didn't really have any bruises and marks, did she, from like any struggles. But she beat Joe in that aspect, which I thought was really, really good. And, you know, she's gone over Nadia and obviously helped her. And now she's got back on the train, it looks like. And she is back with her daughter back in France. So very interested to see if we utilise them again. I'd rather not, but, you know, it is a definite possibility. And then I don't know if Joe knew that Nadia and her boyfriend was involved, or if it was just right at the very end there where he seen them come out of the apartment. He might have overheard them talking and known that obviously he had to think fast, killed him, and obviously set her up. And now he said that, you know, they're going to find that box, it's going to be in your house, anonymous tip, you could say something, won't believe you. I'm in a position of power now, I've got lots of people behind me, and do you know what I mean, it's time for you to actually, you know, go down. So she's in prison now, and you know, I did kind of feel sorry for her, but she did stick her nose in. And you know, when you dig deep like that, especially with somebody who's ruthless and willing to kill a lot of people, you got to expect, you know, like the possibility that something's going to happen to you, and that is obviously what actually happened. So very interesting, good season, I enjoyed it, hopefully you guys did too. If you did enjoy today's episode, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.